And one time we stayed in what they called Ocean View. I think if you went on the roof, you might be able to see the ocean, but we never saw it. So, beachfront, step right onto the sand, right onto the water. Now this is prime real estate. Your toys are right on the beach. You can play with them anytime. When you're in a beachfront, everything, even if you forgot your towel, doesn't take you long to, run up on the elevator or run back to the beach house and get it. Okay, everything's right there. 1 block from the beach, things are a short walk. It's the next level down. You're close, but you got to bring your toys with you. Okay, not as convenient as a beachfront location. Ocean View is a long way from the water. I love this picture. That is the Sea View Inn. Okay, the Sea View Inn. Now, if your room's on the wrong side, you're going to have a beautiful view of the parking lot. So it's still near the beach. You can get to the beach, but not very easily. And you definitely got to carry your toys to the beach. So you're thinking, yeah, right. How is this going to help me organize my bathroom? Really? I don't have sand in my bathroom. So we're going to define what this means for your bathroom. Your water, the ocean, is your mirror and your sink. Okay, that's what, when you're in the bathroom, you need the sink, you need the mirror. Your beach is going to be your countertop because that's where you're going to play with your toys. And your beach toys, makeup, hair stuff, that kind of thing. So when you're organizing with the beach vacation system, just like on a real vacation, you want to be as close to the water as possible. And these same principles apply no matter what room you're organizing, okay? Even if you're organizing your desk at work. You're going to choose the location to put your things according to how close you need them. So, beachfront. These are the items you use constantly. You want them on your beachfront. You want them very, very handy. This is what's easily accessible. You walk right out of the hotel onto the beach. So if you're defining storage, that means you don't have to bend down, you don't have to stretch or reach or see anything. In your bathroom, this is going to be on the counter. If you have a drawer in your vanity, it's going to be that top drawer. Or if you have a medicine cabinet, it's going to be right there on those. Very easily accessible, very easy to get to. 1 block from the beach, stuff you don't use quite as often because you have to bring it to the beach to play with it, okay? So these are going to be things in higher cabinets, and because I'm so short, every cabinet is a higher cabinet, or in the lower ones. Stuff that you got to make some effort to get to. And then we got good old Ocean View. Ocean View is things that are really hard to get to. High up, way in the back of the cabinets. You have to get down on your knees, or in my case, you got to get up on a stool. Or it might even be in another room, because most of us don't have enough space to store everything in our bathrooms. So I want you to think about your bathroom. Where is your beachfront in your bathroom? Where's your 1 block for the beach, and where's your ocean view? So think about your bathroom. So, okay, White, I know where these spaces are. How do I know where to store stuff? What's what? First, look at how you store your stuff now. Look at the storage systems you have, what works, what doesn't. what in your bathroom are you able to keep pretty organized, and what other areas are you like, this is a disaster? When I work with clients, I look for organized spaces first. I had a client, I walked in, and she had paper everywhere. She had paper on her stove. So she was showing me around her house, and I noticed that in the hallway, on the wall, she had these racks with all her earrings, and they were gorgeous. She had them all arranged by color. It was almost like a piece of art. Well, guess how we organized all that paper? By color. Because she enjoyed color, she understood color, she could remember color. So everything we organized in her house was with color, and she loved it, absolutely loved it. Okay, now, are you an innie or an outie? And I'm not talking about your belly button. An innie is someone who can't stand visual clutter. Everything's got to be put away. An outie, everything has to be out where you can see it. Now,
Can you be both?
with some stuff, yeah, you get some stuff you want put away, some stuff. Generally, there is a tendency towards one or the other. But whatever's right for you. I mean, I'm sure you've seen those shows on TV or those magazines, and, you know, well, that's not the way we live. We live the way that is good for us. So if you are an innie, you like clear surfaces. A woman called me, and she said she desperately needed my help. She was, just desperately needed my help. Well, I walked into her house, and this is a picture of her living room. She desperately needed my help. So, I expected what I get with a lot of my clients, which is you can get the door open partway, and then you walk in, pathways. No, she was an absolute minimalist in her decorating style. There was one single item out. And she had, this is the strangest thing, she had nothing on her kitchen counters, absolutely nothing. She would take her coffee maker out, make her coffee, and then put it back because she absolutely could not stand seeing the visual clutter. And I'm thinking, am I gonna organize her sock drawer? Then we opened the closets, and they exploded. She couldn't stand visual clutter, but she didn't know how to organize what she had shoved behind doors. So just because your house looks like this does not necessarily mean you're organized. So people say, oh, her house is so organized and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, don't open a closet. Or maybe you're an outie. Are you an oosum? Is it out of sight, out of mind? Another client, and this is my daughter as well. All her clothes were on the floor. They were on the dresser. They were on the chair. Her dresser was empty. Her closet was empty because she was afraid if she put stuff away, she would forget about it. So if you're like that, you can't stand you have to see everything. What I did for her dresser was I made a map, little piece of paper, put it on top, and top drawer, underwear, second drawer, socks, third drawer, pajamas. After a week or so, she knew where stuff was, and she could actually be comfortable putting stuff away. My daughter, first thing we did when she moved into her apartment was take the doors off the closet. Because if the doors were off the closet, then she could put stuff away in the closet, but she could still see it. So, What do you know about your bathroom and yourself? Where your storage areas are beachfront, 1 block from the beach, or ocean view. And what works and doesn't for you. Are you an innie or an outie? Because these are all important things. Before you start organizing, you have to learn a little bit about where you're organizing and who you are and what's comfortable for you. People always ask me, do you have an organizing system? And I'm like, well, I have this. Do you organize everybody all the same? And I'm like, no. Everybody's not the same. Everybody's house is not the same. You organize for the way you think and the way you live. So, first things first, sorting. So before you go on a vacation, you got to decide what to take. When you're organizing, you can't figure out where to put things if you don't know what you have. So get out all your bathroom stuff. Now, I do not recommend this for any other space but the bathroom. I do not recommend this for any other space but the bathroom. Bathrooms are small, contained. You don't have, compare the amount of stuff you have in your bathroom to what you have in your kitchen. A lot more stuff there. So get out your makeup, your blow dryer, your Band-Aids, everything you have in the bathroom. And then you're going to sort your stuff. And you're going to sort it by every day, which is stuff you use every day or at least once a week. Special occasion, stuff you don't use as often, and then everything else. So when you take your stuff out, make 3 piles, okay? So every day, the items you use constantly, just a hand's reach from the sink and the mirror. You don't keep your toothpaste, unless you're this crazy client who couldn't stand anything on the counter, underneath your cabinet, and you have to get down on your knees to get your toothpaste and your toothbrush. You just don't do that. That's an everyday thing. The stuff you use every day, the makeup you use every day, the blow dryer, the blah, 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 blah. And for you guys, usually I speak to a group of women, but you still got to have a comb, you got to have, that kind of stuff. So this is the stuff you use every day. Special occasion, stuff that you don't use as often, but you want it close. So you may have to bring it to the beach. The makeup, the hair stuff you use, on the weekends. Those masks that are supposed to, take 10 years off your face, heck, we'd all be, like 3-year-olds if we used them all the time. Ha ha. So those are the things that you don't use as often, your special occasion. Now, everything else. It's the wrong color, you didn't like it, the sunscreen made you break out, that kind of stuff. Get rid of it. Makeup, especially eye makeup, grows bacteria. Mascara grows bacteria. If you have mascara that's more than about a year old, get rid of it, or you will get an eye infection, okay? And don't ever lick. Ooh. I've seen people do it. Yeah. Gee, why are your teeth black? So.
They lick the mascara?
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen, it's very weird. So we're going to play with our toys. So your toys are the things in your bathroom, okay? The stuff you use. So you figured out what your beachfront was, right? So you are going to put your everyday stuff on your beachfront. Now, if you have room and you're an outie, you like your stuff out, you can put it all on your beachfront, put it on your counter. If you like your stuff put away, then all this stuff is going to go in the medicine cabinet or a drawer close to the mirror. Special occasion is going to be 1 block from the beach. Not too hard to get to, but out of the way of your everyday stuff. I mean, you don't want to be rummaging through the stuff that you only use, once a month to get to the stuff you use every day. And your overview, there's an ocean out there. Oh, yeah. Your overflow items from maybe your special occasion, they're going to go in your ocean view storage. All right? Is this making sense? And you've got a handout too. So, all right. So you're going to say, yeah, right. I don't have enough space on my beachfront for my everyday stuff. Well, that's true for most of us, okay? So what do you do when you go on vacation? You use a beach bag, right? You carry your toys to the beach in a beach bag. Well, there's lots of things that you can use as beach bags. And a lot of us already do. We have these little, cosmetic things, and we put our stuff on and bring it out and put it on the counter. So you can get your beach bag full of toys from your 1 block from the beach and put it on the counter. Now, as you can imagine, being a professional organizer, I do not like visual clutter. I like my countertops clear. So I use beach bags. I use them, I put my stuff away, bring it up to my counter, and then use it. This is my everyday beach bag. It goes under the sink. I bring it up, I put it on the counter. This is all my makeup. This is all my hair stuff and deodorant and all that stuff. I make myself beautiful, and I put it back.
I have a quick question, because I live with two other men, my little boy and my brother, and they are outies, like full-on outies. And my brother uses wax, beard stuff, he uses this, that, and I go into the bathroom and I'm just like,
Get him a container to put it in.
I've given him containers, I've given him barber bags, I never stays in there.
Put it, just get on him.
So you make it
Give
hot,
him a
right?
place. Unless you're dead, you can learn something.
And I feel it's hard because he's neurodivergent, so he has ADHD, so I think a lot of it kind of correlates with that, and my son has similar.
Mhm.
They both have ADHD, they're both similar, and I don't use makeup, I don't use that. I have
Okay.
mousse and a toothbrush, toothpaste, and mouthwash.
What has worked for some of my ADHD clients, little card on the mirror. Use your stuff. Put it back in your container. Put your container away. Checklist. Use your stuff. Put it back in the container. Put your container away. 3 things. And it's just getting, it has to become a habit. Everything, we live about 90% of our lives through habit. My sister, you know how small a bathroom is in an RV? Well, she had a bathroom in her house that was about that small. She had absolutely no storage. And my sister does the makeup thing, okay? So, but she did have a medicine cabinet. We took these little bitty drawer dividers, put them in the medicine cabinet, because she had about that much space on each side of her sink. She would take one down, close the medicine cabinet so she could see the mirror, put it there, do this layer, put it back, get out this layer. She's gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous. But good grief, Becky. So by containerizing these things, we could put them 1 block from the beach, but she brought them to her beachfront. And all she had was that itty-bitty stuff. That's it. We actually had to take her hair stuff, and her husband built her a rack so she could keep all her hair stuff in it because there was no other place to put it. So, you want to choose a beach bag. Remember location, location, location? Measure, measure, measure. Gather together all the things that need to go in that container. So for the guys in your life, make sure the container is big enough to hold all their stuff. Because sometimes having a container that's too small or inconvenient, you have to make things absolutely simple because, you know, attention span and anything that's frustrating is out of here if you're ADHD. So measure your stuff. Measure the space you're going to have to store it in. Make sure that container fits in the space, easily in the space. So use your little tape measure. You do not need to go out and spend a fortune on containers. Just about anything that you have can become a container as long as it's the correct size and shape. Okay? You know what these are made out of? These drawer dividers? Cereal boxes. Cut off the bottom of a cereal box. They're dressed up with, you know, pretty duct tape or that, what's it called? Washi tape or something? Washi tape, although that'd be kind of expensive to do this. But they're gorgeous. Because they're made, you know, duct tape, they're going to last. I mean, most of us have a coffee cup with pens and pencils in it, right? It's the same principle. It's a coffee cup. No, it's a pencil holder. No, it's a coffee cup. It's a container. Anything that's the right size and shape can be a container. And, of course, shoe boxes. Shoe boxes are wonderful. But you need to know somebody with itty-bitty feet and somebody with big feet. So if you need itty-bitty boxes, then you find kids or you found somebody with teeny feet. Now, it used to be, you know, all the shoe boxes came with a lid, and now they've got this open. Cut it off. Cut off the flap and duct tape. I actually have a shoebox that I covered with contact paper. You know what contact paper is? Okay. Okay. It's this, these young'uns don't know anything. It's sticky back vinyl.
It's a giant piece of tape.
Yeah, exactly. It's a giant piece of tape. Thank you. But it comes in rolls. So I covered a shoebox 40 years ago with contact paper, and it has been holding my Tupperware lids for 40 years. Imagine if I'd done it with duct tape. This thing would last longer than I was. So anything that's the right size and shape can be a container. So let's review. We talked about location, location, location. About beachfront, 1 block from the beach, and ocean view. We talked about sorting your stuff into everyday, special occasion, and everything else. How to make small spaces useful? Use your beach bags. How to choose a beach bag? Measure, measure, measure. So, now you've got a bathroom that's as relaxing as a beach vacation. Now, I told you could use this someplace else, right? This system can be used in other rooms of the house. So, how about we organize your closet using the same system? All right, wouldn't this be nice? Wouldn't this be lovely? If I win the lottery. So this is, most of us, our reality. Once again, location, location, location. So your beachfront is going to be, why did you not move? There it is. Right in the front. You open your closet, it's right there. You can easily reach it. You see it all. Just right there. 1 block from the beach. It's a little further back. Maybe if you have the bypass doors, it's that space, you know, where you can't see things as easily. And then there's Ocean View, which is going to be way back in the corner. And it's tough to get back there, and it's usually dark back there. So also, your Ocean View could be that, you know, you got stuff hung in your kids' rooms too. So, closet sorting. Do not take it out all at once. You know, you see the shows on TV and they empty out the closet. Well, what you don't see is they've got 6 little people running around. No, you got one person doing it, okay? And if you got a kid, they're destroying it as you're doing it. So grab a handful at a time. And my suggestion is that you take the stuff out of the back, out of that Ocean View first, because that's going to be the easiest to make decisions on. Things migrate as you use them. They go, have you noticed in your kitchen cabinets, the stuff you don't use as often ends up way in the back? Well, same thing happens in your closet. If you take those out, you know, those I probably haven't worn much. But if you do, you know, handful by handful, it's much easier. Because what happens when you start organizing? Mom, my car won't start. Will you pick me up from work? And then you go back, you got everything you own on your bed, you're tired, you shove it back in the closet. It's a bigger mess than one handful at a time. Just do it little bit by little bit. Because otherwise, you know, when you got to go to work the next day, you're never going to find anything. So, sort your clothes same way you did your bathroom stuff. Every day. Stuff you use at least once a week, every couple of weeks. These are going to be, you know, your work clothes, your school clothes, stuff you wear every day. Special occasion, you don't use it that often. And then there's everything else. So, every day, work clothes, the clothes you change into when you get home from work, your jeans, your tennies, you know, that kind of stuff. These are going to be the ones that have ended up in your beachfront. You wear them all the time, you wash them, you're going to put them back in the most convenient location. All of us are pretty much inherently lazy. We want to do things the easy way. So, you're not going to, you know, do wash, put it on the hangers, and then go in the back of your closet and go, I'll put it there. No, you're not going to do that. So you can kind of get an idea of what is your everyday stuff just by looking at where it is. So your special occasion. These are dress up to go out, something you'd wear to a party, church clothes, that kind of thing. Now, for me, it's dresses, because obviously I don't go to work and crawl around on people's floor in a dress. But I do occasionally wear a dress. Those are further out. And then there's everything else. Seasonal clothes. I don't want my sweaters right in the front of the closet when it's 100 degrees. So those can go, you know, further back in the closet. Really dressy clothes. You know, you have to go, you're going to a wedding, you're going to a baptism, you're going to a party, you know, that kind of stuff. You don't wear it often, but darn it, I spent, you know, a lot of money on this cool dress to wear to a wedding, huh? Now, the stuff you never wear has this lovely fashion accessory. It's called dusty shoulders. If stuff has dusty shoulders, you haven't worn it. Now, it may be because these are special occasion things, really special occasion. I mean, we don't go to weddings every week. But there's also the stuff that you just plain and simple never wear. Now, little trick for the special occasion stuff that's got the dusty shoulders, clean it up, take an old towel, cut a little hole in it, put it over the hanger and let the hanger, and you can get, I went to Goodwill and bought towels to do that because I wasn't going to use good towels. Cut the little hole, hang it over, keeps the dust off these, things that I only wear a couple times a year. So,
I put a trash bag. Cut a trash bag.
mm-hmm.
Big, like a gallon.
Yeah, that works too. That works too. Now, if you got stuff you just plain and simple don't wear, bless someone else with it. Don't clutter up your closet or your life with stuff you don't use. And the reason you don't wear it, why it's in the back of the closet with dusty shoulders, it doesn't fit. You don't like it, it's out of date. So, for me, I'm never going to be a size 6 again. Why did I hold on to those darn size 6 clothes for so long? No. If I ever get down to a size 6, I'm buying new clothes. I'll be 102 and dead. Keep your closet lean. Only have what makes you look and feel marvelous. You know those outfits you put them on and you go, dang, I look good. And I feel good. Nothing's too tight. It doesn't itch, that kind of stuff. Only keep the stuff that you're going to wear. Okay, now some tricks. The hangers don't lie. Okay, there's your closet rod. So you hang your clothes up this way, right? You're looking at your rod, and you hang it up. When you put those clothes back in the closet, hang them up backwards. See, you're looking at the hook. So, put all those clothes that way. You wear your favorite blue shirt, you wash it, and you put it back the regular way. 6 months, a year from now, if you still got hangers going blah, 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 or sticking their tongue out at you, you haven't worn it. The hangers don't lie. Now, don't cheat. Do not cheat. Do not take something off the hanger, put it on and go, and then hang it up the right way. No, 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 no. You got to put it back the way you took it off because you have not worn it.
See, what if you take it off and then you put it on and then you think about you wear it for like half a day? Does that count?
Why did you wear it only half a day?
Probably because it didn't feel comfortable.
Right.
But you wore it.
How often are you going to wear it half a day?
It's just, I did that one year, and I ended up having like half my closet, but most of my work I was doing, the things I was doing, none of it was professional dress.
Mm-hmm.
And I invested in my previous job on a lot of professional dress stuff, and being a plus size woman, finding stuff in
Mm-hmm.
professional sizes is hard.
And that's where a different situation, and those then would become, if you weren't wearing your professional clothes, but you knew that, okay, someday I will, put them where they're not getting in your way. Cover them up so they don't get dusty. Yeah, I mean, I used to work in a bank, okay? I used to, wear, I can't believe this, but heels and pantyhose every day. Now, this is what I wear to work. So, those professional clothes, because I never want to work in a bank again, I got rid of. But in your case, you may go back to that. Okay. So that's your hang stuff. T-shirts. Put it away backwards. The same principle. Okay, so here's my T-shirts. Put them in a dresser, put them on a shelf. Most of us put them where we see the fold in the front, right? We're looking at the fold. Well, turn them backwards. Put the neck where you're looking at it. So this happens to be one of my favorite shirts. So I wear it. I put it back this way. Now, if I wear the white one and wash it and put it back, then I'll do it this way. But you know that stop sign yellow one that's at the bottom of the pile? 6 months from now, it's still going to be with the neck out. You can tell what you've worn and what you haven't. Shoes. You'll notice that these shoes are all put away toes in. Okay? And that's the way most of us put our shoes away, is toes in. Mostly because it's the easy way to do it. So what you do, turn them around so the toes are out. Wear the shoes, put them back the way you normally do. So there it is. The shoes don't lie. Now, obviously, you're going to have those shoes, those special occasion shoes. I am not wearing those heels very often, but if I got to go to a wedding, I'm going to wear those heels and come home and hobble for 2 days, So everybody's different. Everybody has different requirements. But this, for your wardrobe, this is going to show you what you wear and what you don't. So, now you know that getting organized is just as easy as taking a beach vacation. Aloha! So, are there questions?
I have a question.
Yes?
How did you get started doing this organizing things?
Well, number one, I was raised with a very organized mother. But it is a God thing. I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in God incidents. As Kayla said, my husband was in the military, and we moved a lot. So we spent 5 years in Germany. He was flying for NATO. We didn't get American TV. We didn't get much of any TV. And when you move every couple of years, you don't keep up with magazines either, because it's too much trouble to change the address all the time. So we came back to the States, and that's when all those organizing shows were big time. I mean, I didn't even know HGTV existed. And so we came back to the States. I'm seeing all these shows, and I'm thinking, why did you do it that way? That woman is left-handed, and you put all this stuff over here. And I like yell at the TV, okay? Well, since the story of my life is punctuated with, and then we moved, I kind of thought, well, this would be fun to do, but then we moved, and then we moved, and then, because we hadn't done it in a year, we moved again. We finally got back to D.C., and this is just such a cool thing. I injured my hand, and when it's your hand, you go to occupational therapy, not necessarily physical therapy. So I go to occupational therapy, and she was a great therapist. I mean, she really helped my hand, although it still grew out funny. But her name was Kim, and because she had to make the place look nice, everything was shoved in drawer. When occupational therapy or even physical therapy, they have all those machines that, they put wax on you, or the nerve stimulation stuff, and everything has a cord. So she'd bring it out, she'd put it here, and then she'd be stepping over the cords and tripping in it. And I said, Kim, if you move this table here, because I'm sitting there for 20 minutes with, if you move this table here, then you could just run this cord here and you wouldn't be tripping over it. And she says, you sound just like one of my other clients. Now notice she said clients. She didn't say patients. And I said, She said, she's a professional organizer. And I said, really? And she said, and I said, is there any way you could give me her information? She said, well, she left me a business card. That's not protected medical information. So she gave me her business card. I went home and I called her. And now, this woman was the secretary for the National Association of Professional Organizers, which most of you didn't even know existed. Yes, there is a national association. It changed their names the last couple of years. But there's about 2,000 members. And she said, oh, we're having a meeting of the Washington, D.C. Metro chapter next week. Why don't you come? I walked into a room with about 50 people who think just the way I do. My husband's like, there's more than one of you? A month later, I started my business. And I've been doing it ever since. And I've been doing it for 20 years, and I love it. So that's how I got into it. God knew what I was good at. God knew what I would enjoy, and he put it right in my face. So. Any other questions?
Is this posted anywhere, like on YouTube or anything, or do you have information outside of your speaking?
Do you have a book?
Have you written a book?
I thought about it. I decided that I would probably lose my family if I tried to read it, because writing a book is extremely difficult. I have lots of friends who've written books. No, I don't. I like working with people. That's why I do what I do. I work one-on-one with someone and I help them. I teach them. The majority of my job is, I hope, teaching. That's why I love to speak. I hope you've learned something tonight. I teach them the principles of organizing. I teach them how to maintain it. So that's what I love. But sitting and writing a book, no, thank you. I used to write a blog, and it was torture. But there's lots and lots of stuff out there. There are hundreds of books out there on organizing. The one I recommend most often to my clients is called, brain fart, sorry. It's by Julie Morgenstern, okay? Yeah. Why can't I think of the name? Yeah, look it up for me. But anyway, she's written several books. But she has a system, and she calls it SPACE, which is sort, purge, anyway, but it's a great book. That's the one I most often recommend. If you have ADHD, ADD, there's a wonderful book called Organize Your Life for ADD or something. It's written by Judith Kohlberg, with a K, Kohlberg, and Catherine Nadeau, who is, Judith is an organizer, and she, in fact, started what used to be called the National Study Group on Chronic Disorganization. It's now called the Institute. Organizing from the Inside Out. Thank you. Organizing from the Inside Out. It is a fabulous book. ADD ways to organize your life or something. I'll give you the full citation. But it's a really, in fact, I have a new client who is really ADD, and I mean, I've read this book how many times? To get my certification, I actually had to do a review of this book and all of that. And I'm looking through, I'm reading it again, because I'm sure I've forgotten more than, So I'm going through it again to get ideas of how do I work with this person who is so ADD. So those are two books that I recommend. And Organizing from the Inside Out. It's very simple. It's very easy. It's very clear. Most organizing books, if you could do what they tell you, you wouldn't need the darn book. They assume so much knowledge. I work with chronically disorganized people. Obviously, chronic's been there their whole life. They never learned how to organize. It's like you took them and threw them into the deep end of a pool, and they don't know how to swim. And you just threw them there, which is what happens in life. You just get thrown into life. And if you don't know how to swim, you get thrown in the deep end, what are you going to do? You're going to thrash, you're going to get yourself to the side, but you ain't never going to get back in that water. And that's what's happened. They don't know how to organize. They have personality traits that keep them from being able to organize, so I teach them. And people say this is crazy. Most of my chronically disorganized people are perfectionists. And you're thinking, perfectionists and their house looks like that? Mm-hmm. Because they can't find the perfect place to put something. What if I don't keep this and I need it? Then I won't be perfect. So perfectionism causes a lot of disorganization. And boy, is that a hard habit to break. My 92-year-old client, man, I don't think I'll ever get her over that. Anybody else?
You're saying with that about God, lately my disorganization, I've been putting it in prayer and telling him to help me be a better steward of the things he's given me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like my disorganized chaos of a life is not using what he's given me and in good stewardship.
Right. Start with one small area. Just one. A kitchen drawer. One drawer. And go through it. Am I really using this? Is this the best place for this? Really? How often do I use a melon baller? I've never used one. I have one. I've never used it. That kind of thing. And what that will help you do is learn to make decisions. It's just like anything. The more you do it, the easier it gets. One of my clients has a little thing on her wall that says, everything gets easier with practice, except getting up in the morning. Isn't that great? But take one small area, work on that. Then another, work on that. So learn how to ask these questions that we've talked about tonight. But don't like tear your whole kitchen apart on the weekend, because it'll be a disaster.
I did underneath my sink. That was productive,
Yeah.
but it did not.
And I bet you threw away a lot of those cleaning things you don't use.
I had lighter fluid. I don't even own a lighter. I don't even own a grill.
Yeah. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much. Oh, you are
Very
welcome.
much. I have an announcement. Next week, we will not be having our dinner here. I guess celebration of Juneteenth. I'm going to try to get a little setup going over there on the university. So if I have any volunteers to help me for Juneteenth, okay, get with me at the end. Anybody else? I don't know for sure, but I'm going to try to set it up because I'm not sure all the logistics of it yet. But so just a heads up, no dinner next week. We will be continuing the following week. Of course, thank you to Elizabeth, Ms. Kyla, correct, for introduction. Dorothy, thank you for the tasty calabacitas. Our kitchen helpers, Mr. Bryce for our setup. Thank you. Always. And Margie, thank you, Margie, for entertaining the kids. And did all the kids take off? Do they want to do a show and tell? They kind of. All right. And Phil, thank you for our little karate introduction. And thank you, everybody, for showing up. And so not this week or this coming Monday, but the following Monday, welcome back, free dinner, another speaker. To my knowledge at this time, no. They postponed it. I'm not sure when it's postponed till, though. Does anybody know? Yeah.